When you work in ministry, you are trained to be the giver, the person that always give advice, always check on others, but you don't have anyone that prays for you, encourage you, that pours into you. So when you go through struggles in your life, you don't have anyone that you can confide in. So you hold those things in. And everyone needs someone that they can just vent to sometime without feeling like they're being judged. And whether you know it or not, you are going to need a community, because in life you are going to go through different seasons. And when you go through the tough seasons, you don't want to feel alone or that nobody understands or cares. If I could go back in life, when I first became a first lady, I would have found a mentor and I would have joined a community or built one, because a lot of women don't understand is our lives are very secluded. And the reason why it's like that is we have to be so careful about what we say around people, what we share. And it is because it can jeopardize the ministry. So you have to be really careful about who you confide in. So in the meantime, what happens is we end up holding a lot of things inside. And you don't want to do that, because that is a way of allowing bitterness to build up or become depressed because you're not able to share your struggles. And after going through so many difficult seasons in my life, that is the main reason why I started my YouTube channel. I was so lonely. I felt no one understood, that I didn't have anyone that I could talk to, share my problems with without being judged. You may wonder, what does true friendship look like? True friendship looks like someone that loves you not for your title, but just because of who you are. They get you. You guys have experienced some of the same things. You can say what you want to say and talk about whatever you want to talk about without feeling judged. Someone that understands that you have issues and you have hobbies that don't have anything to do with church. True friendship is something that when you are going through, that person is not going to rejoice or try to take advantage of you because you are down. When you make a mistake, they're not going to judge you or try to condemn you. Instead, they are going to try to strengthen you to help you get back on the same road that you're on. You may wonder, how can we find authentic connections? One of the first things you need to do is to pray and ask God to lead you where to go, who you need to talk to. One thing you do want to practice doing is how to be a friend to others. Treat people the way that you want to be treated. Give people advice and attention the same way you want someone to listen to you and to give you advice filled with wisdom. And also be open. A lot of times the person that you connect with will not be at your church, which I think that is the best way, because one thing that I have experienced over the years is I have had two really good friends at my church. And the disadvantage of having a friend at your church is if they leave, a lot of times once they leave your church, they just move on and they really don't want anything to do with you anymore. So from that experience, I just learned it's best to find someone that don't go to your church. You can go online and try to find a group that you can connect with that fits you. If you can build a face-to-face community or friendship, that is even better. Not long ago, maybe 3 years ago, my husband ran a revival at a church. And normally I don't make the first move or reach out to other people. But This time, the last service of the revival, I walked up to the first lady of the church and I just started a conversation with her and we connected. We have built a friendship. Every so often we go to lunch together and it just feels so good just to have someone that you can relate to about certain things, someone that understands your battle, and we actually encourage each other. So my next goal is I have met another pastor's wife and I'm going to start reaching out to her. So what I would like to do is I want to build a face-to-face community of first ladies. And the only way that's going to happen is I'm going to have to be open and just start reaching out to others. Because one thing I have learned after being a first lady for so many years is that it's important to have a community. You're going to need a community. Every so often, you are going to need to have a community because we go through different things in our lives, and the average person is not going to understand. So I do want to encourage you to start reaching out to others, and even not so much of because you want someone to be there for you. It's good to reach out to others because you want to help them. Relationships are not one-sided. We have to be there for one another. There are two things that God taught me in my lonely season. Number one, I needed to practice being friendly. If you want to make friends, you're going to have to be friendly. And it's not that I'm a rude person, but it's just that I am an introvert and I used to be a little shy. So it was hard for me just to come up with a conversation with someone that I really didn't know. But I had to practice being friendly and start out by just giving another lady a compliment. And not only that, I had to learn too is don't only be friendly to people that you will like that person to become your friend or get to know, but just be friendly to everyone. And God also taught me that the basic way of building a friendship, sometimes you have to make the first move. Number two, in my lonely season, even though it felt like I was alone and that I was on an island by myself, God was always there. In His Word, He said that He will never leave you or forsake you. And I learned to lean on Him, to talk to Him, to confide in. And God listened. You don't have to have a large circle. Just a few people to surround you will be enough. A friend loves at all times. Even Jesus had His inner circle, which is our prime example. We're not meant to do ministry alone. One of the main things that I do want you to know is that you're not alone. God has women who loves you, not for who you are or what you have or what you do. If this blesses you, comment below that I am believing for my tribe. And if you need a tool to find your tribe, in my book, From Fear to Flourishing, A Guide for Pastors' Wives, I talk about this topic, how to build and find your community. I have some great news. I will start a Facebook group very soon, and it's going to be for my membership level 2 and 3. And the level 3 First Lady Elite will have full access. For more information, just click the join button below. If you are in a season of loneliness, let me know in the comment section below so that I can pray for you. If you need more encouragement, I have a free guide. It's a 5-day confidence in calling devotional for pastors' wives. I will have that information below. If you like what I do, please subscribe to my channel and also like this video so that YouTube will show my content to more women just like you. If you want to learn more about this topic, make sure that you tune in to my next video. May God bless you. Bye.